Are you scared to have the commission conversation in this market? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, it's Rosemary Lewis, your educator agent with eXp Realty, and today I am going to talk about dun 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 the commission conversation that is starting to come up more and more, especially in this market with your buyers. But before we hop into it, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and click the bell. It here's to come up. There it is right there. And then that way, every time I post a video, especially how to tackle tough conversations like this, you will know about it. Let's hop into it. So y'all, unless you are living under a rock or selling zero real estate, you might not know that we are in a very, very interesting seller's market. For the first time in almost not every, I'm not going to make a blanketed statement, but in many, many markets, in many places across the continental US, we are experiencing a very, very low inventory shortage, which makes sellers the prom queen because they have a lot of buyers that are vying for those properties. And as a result, many agents have noticed that the commission in MLS has decreased a lot from what we have been accustomed to in the past. I actually got a call from an agent that I have an opportunity to coach on. I met her on Instagram, and she sent me a message saying, yo, I just saw a back agent commission for a lease for, wait for it, $1. Like literally, that means that the listing agent and the seller are only willing to compensate the agent who brings a ready, willing, able, and qualified tenant $1. So can you imagine? She's a newer agent, and like a lot of us starting out, leases can kind of be our bread and butter to get us going in the game. But look, you could do a lot of jobs that don't require as much effort as working in this market and get far more than $1. So she called me very panicked about how to approach the situation, and this is the feedback that I shared with her. While yes, the seller does have the right to offer whatever commission they want, because remember, they went under a listing agreement with the listing agent, not with you. However, I hope that before you take any client out, you are also in a buyer-tenant representation agreement with them. And in many states, you have a commission agreement that they would sign before you go out. So my recommendation was to have an honest conversation with your client before they look at any homes and just say, hey, I just want to give you a heads up. In many situations, the seller will offer compensation for the buyer's agent, but in this situation for this home, the seller actually is not offering compensation, and according to our agreement, my compensation would come directly from you and the amount would be X. Now, I know that that's not a comfortable conversation to have, but look, you got to go for yours. You have to assert yourself and be valuable and not be afraid to get paid, because I'm telling you right now, I am not working for $1. While that might not be a comfortable conversation to have, here's the reality. This is the market that we're in, and more than ever, we have to show our value so that when you have that conversation with a potential client, they understand and they are more than willing to compensate you for your time, your hard work, and your effort, because now, like never before, they understand that they need an agent who is advocating and by their side to get them in a property. I personally just had this happen with one of my buyer clients, and I just said to them, hey, I would love to show you 123 Main Street. We can definitely go out to see it, but just a heads up, this is one of those situations that we discussed in our buyer's consultation. So you may want to have this conversation ahead of time, set the expectation during your buyer's consultation. And if this is a property that you like, kudos. But when we speak to the lender, we'll have to add X amount to your closing costs, because for the brokerage fees. And then that way, when you assert yourself, when you let them know, hey, I'm really happy to work for you, but I am not going to work for free. I mean, essentially, that's what you're saying. Then you get to know right away if this is a client that you want to move forward with. Because again, $1 is not going to pay nan bill at your house or mine. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but it's the sellers. They're walking away with so much money. Y'all, you can definitely have the conversation with the listing agent to see if the seller will be willing to negotiate. But remember, that's not your client. The seller is not. So I dare to say that if the listing agent wasn't able to get them to put more than $1 down from the very beginning, they may have to sit on the market for a while before they come back to reality and want to compensate agents. So I'm going to encourage you not to shy away from having that conversation, but definitely have the conversation with your buyer who you are in agreement with and set the expectation of what your compensation needs to look like if the seller is not allowing it. Woo! All right. That was a tough conversation. So if you made it to the end of this video and you are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and let's connect, okay? Because I know that things like this come up all the time, and I am here for you. I am a working realtor in this market, and I want to just share with you any advice that I can to help you grow your business, be confident, assert your value, and win even in challenging times. Y'all take care.